Well, it's a good thing we're upgrading cameras, because for some reason this one don't want to work. Hey everyone, no calves yet. They're still taking their time, which is okay, because I've been needing to get these cameras. We bought some new cameras and want to replace these ones, what they call it an analog system. And we're replacing them with digital cameras. And I thought I'd still get these going just to make sure they were working in case I decide to sell them or whatever. And for some reason I can't get this one to work. I got power to it and everything. Things seem to be working on this end, but at the house, which is past the shop, of course, 400 feet that way, 500 feet, I got no signal, no picture. So what I've been doing every, say if I have a half an hour here, half an hour there, I haven't had a chance to get the other cameras out yet and see what I'm getting myself into, but I thought I'd at least try and get these going at least, so at least we'd have something. But anyways, I've tried checking connections. I don't know if you can see that there. Maybe. Tried connections, took them off and on. There's power going to the, there's actually power going to the camera, because when you start it up, when you plug it in, it does its little woo circly thing. And so I know the power is at the camera. Tried plugging this and unplugging it once or twice, because the wire from the camera comes to this box. And then there's another cable. Oh yeah, that's right. It comes, yeah, this is the power. Well, I don't know. There's another little thing. I tried to check connections in there. Everything was fine. And then there's another cable coming from the camera. It goes, well, it's on one of these. It's one of these cables. It's not both of them. That other cable's an old cable from an old camera system we had back in the 80s that never did work worth a damn. But, so I tried following this cable in case there was a break in it. Maybe a connection problem. In fact, there's a joiner up there, as you can see. No, don't let me. But I checked that. It was fine. This camera's working fine. It's got its own separate system, but it's working fine. Because that box there goes to that. Can't remember what that's for, but anyways, that's part of the system. And these wires and cables go to those boxes. The bottom one is for the indoor camera. The top one is for that oscillating camera. And then it's wireless from there to that bay window at the house, at the kitchen. So as long as you had line of sight, you had no problems. Every once in a while when we were going by with the tractor and wagon or something like that, all of a sudden there'd be a little blip in the screen, but it would always come back. So anyways, I've plugged and unplugged wires and tried this and tried that, switched antennas, did things at the house, switched stuff around. And I'm thinking, why am I even bothering? Because I'm putting a new system up anyways. But I thought, well, it's got to be something simple, like a signal failure or something. So now what I'm going to try and do, it's kind of a Hail Mary, and I keep saying this is the last resort, but I keep going back to this. But I guess this is the final last resort. I'm going to switch the cables from that box to that bottom box, because I know that bottom one's working. So I'm thinking now it's just a signal problem from that box there to the house. That's all I can think of. So I guess let's give that a try. Well, I got my wires changed on those receivers out there, figuring I had to come back here and change them here. But I come in, and that used to be camera 2 over there, and that should be the and that used to be the outdoor camera. So I'm not sure if that box is the problem. Let's try one more thing. Well, I don't know. I've kind of given up. Looks like it works better that way anyways, but technically we should have the outdoor camera working on number 2 over here. But there's nothing working, so it must be in the camera. I think it's just time to start opening up boxes. Well, good morning. It's the next morning. I thought, maybe I better unpack these boxes and see what we're getting ourselves into here. At least get my brain starting to think about getting this done here. This is a Rose Tech system. It's based out of Montreal, Quebec. These are the cameras we decided to go with. This is what they call a 22 times camera. We're hoping to mount that and maybe use that for 2 pins. The before calving pin and the actual calving pin. But I don't have a hydro pole set up there yet. But I'm going to set it up at the other place for now. This one here is a 10 times oscillating camera, similar to the one I'm scratching my head about. And it's going to probably go inside the barn to replace the still camera. And this still camera, I want to actually put that in the lean-to, just to kind of see what's going on in case of crashes or whatever. Just to be able to monitor things. I guess these are receivers. Something tells me we might be short one, but I guess we'll figure this out as we go. And then we have what they call an NVR. Here it is. Network video recorder. So I guess we're supposed to be able to record what went on. So if yours truly here decides to go goofy in the barn, and they've got proof in the house that I've wasn't being very good. And I guess it's still a wired system to some extent, because they sent me, that's 50-foot bags of cable. So that's what, 50 times 4, 200 feet of cable. So there is some cable network here. I see that. Oh, I guess that has to go in there and then there, of course. And we're going to have power to these cameras, of course. Yeah, that's the computer cables. So all I was doing was I want to get it out, get it set up, kind of look at it. When in doubt, read directions. Yeah. I'll just go put this away, then kind of look exactly where I'm going to put these cameras, probably in the same spots as before. And yeah. Oh, this is, I think, is supposed to run off our internet. Maybe that's why. Maybe those are just the receivers for the cameras, and then they just go to our Wi-Fi internet. So hopefully we don't have to do a Wi-Fi booster, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Well, after about an hour and a half to 2 hours maybe of unwrapping, putting our receivers together, plugging stuff in, reading the manual, of course. I believe I got things where they should be plugged in properly. Just a matter of taking everything to their respective places and stringing up the cables. And so this is where the NVR and the receiver for the house, this stays in the house, and then the mouse and everything. So I believe I've got all that plugged in properly and should be ready to go. Right here, these two cameras are going to run off one transmitter, and if I read this right in the book, on this page here, if I read that right, well, I should have that correct, I hope. And this one camera, it's got its own receiver. That's going to be going, oh, by the way, that's going in inside the barn. That in the lean-to, that inside the main barn. This one's going to go outside just on the hydro pole for this year until I get the hydro pole set up across the road. It's got its own receiver that I'll probably mount on the hydro pole also. Yeah, I think I've got it plugged into the right ports, and now I just got to spend some time. Sherry's going to be home here tomorrow, so she can help me string stuff out, and because she's kind of my tech person. So okay, the next step. That gives you a headache trying to figure this out. Well, it's a couple of mornings later. A bit of a cold breeze today, so it's going to start cooling off again. Busy with service work on equipment yesterday. That tractor there needed to have dusted off from running the shredder. And then the other front wheel assist in the shed there, it needed the oil changed and this and that and cleaned up. So I was focused on that yesterday. Gerloff is here now for calving season. He feeds our silage, does some chores while I keep up with the craziness the other way. So I guess this morning we'll get one camera set up on that hydro pole over there, and then get probably a receiver somewhere on the house here. Probably going to go on the eave. I'm hoping that's enough height. You got to have line of sight. And then I got to run a cable from the receiver into the house somehow, into there. Probably through this window, I'm thinking. Because this was a cable from an old camera that we had many years ago, because that actually goes underground to the shed, but it never did work worth a darn. So I might have to drill the hole a little bigger there in the corner of that window and then fill it up with silicone after, just so varmints and other things don't get in. I'm thinking I'll go and try that, and then we'll get the big camera on the pole, and then we'll start seeing if things are working. And if once I get that working, I could just put my receivers and cameras in the other part of the shed. So I'll catch you in a bit. Well, I've got things kind of hooked up at the house there. You can see that little square box on the house. Wire going into the kitchen, and then got my receiver here. That's one thing I don't like about this system, to put those two wires in. I had a hell of a time getting that door on, because I really need a slot right here for the wires to go up properly. I tried going up there, but it's got to do a kind of a U-turn, and that wasn't working with a shit, basically. So I just took a file and slotted this out, and I should have actually slotted it out a little more, but I got the door fitting in there better, but I had a hell of a time getting that door on. So anyways, we got the big camera here. No, I can't go any too close. Oh, I'm on the roof of the shed, by the way. So yeah, I'm hoping for this year, until we get a hydro pole out there, if we can pan this pen and see how much we can go out there. So till we get our pole set up and whatnot. So I guess I'll start plugging things in the house, and we'll see if we can make the contact, or if I fall on the ground and kill myself first. Well, so far so good. At least we can see the roof. I just got to figure out now how to turn the camera. But we do have the mouse. We do have it. Well, hopefully I can play with this here while we're zooming. There's my mouse. Turn the camera. Whoops, that's a little fast for you, maybe. And then what else do we do? Zoom in. Still, we've only had this on for 5 minutes, so. Whoops. Whoa, 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 whoa. Down. Yeah, there's the 20 times. Come on, down. Oh, there's that cow right there at the other end of the pen. 20 times.
Somebody get me?
No. I'm just zoom back in. Now, I'll go across the road now to where Gerloff is feeding. Up a bit. And then, whoop, gotta zoom in. Whoop, down. This is kind of hard to do. I should put my phone down here and there. I think that's probably the 20 times again. Zoom in. No, that's as far as I can go. He's at the other end of that pen, which is way over there. And the camera is over there. Oh, I don't know how many feet that would be, or yards, but it's a little ways anyways. So it looks like it's going to work out pretty good. And if I can zoom out again here. Bear with me, folks. In fact, I can kind of see through the trees there at the other end of that pen. For the daytime, it'll be fine. May not even need to. Probably still be better to put it across the road. Oh, there's Gerloff coming back. Let's see if I can see his face. Oop. There he is. I think I can put up to 8 cameras. Well, there's what? Yeah, 8 cameras. So, whoops. I guess we got one on. I can go put the others on now and start tearing apart this old paraphernalia. start cleaning up some of this old stuff. Well, it's the next morning. Got this camera set up. That one has to have a power source. I got it to the plug-in there. And my computer cable, or whatever they call that. Oh, by the way, we had a calf last night, during the night. And there's a fresh one just outside in the pen there. Just fresh this morning. And our twins and our other cow that calved 2 days ago. So we're into it. So anyways, back to this. Cables are coming to here. To the power source. And then back out here to our other camera. Right there for the lean-to. Out here. And coming out, so I got to tidy up some wires here yet, but that'll happen. And then my receiver out there. So let's go to the house and see if we got any results. Shit. Got one camera. Got my indoor camera going, but not the lean-to. Something went goofy. Maybe I better double check a connection. Well, it's late afternoon. Rose Tech hasn't got back to me yet, but hopefully they will within a reasonable time frame. So I'll keep you posted on what's going on. Meantime, I've tore all this out. Still one camera up in that corner there to take down. Probably take that camera to Brandon, see if maybe it's in the camera that's the problem. Those receivers I swapped around, that didn't seem to help. I swapped receivers at the house, that didn't seem to help. I wasted enough time with that old system, time to upgrade, and wow. I had the upgrade sitting in boxes for 2 months, so it's time to just get her done. And BP, if you're watching, well, there's still wires to deal with. I don't know. I thought it was a wireless system, but still got to play with some wires, but there's a lot less wires, especially in the house. So, in case you're wondering who I'm talking about, a fella by the name of BP. He has a YouTube channel also called BCP Farm and Trucking. Him and his wife CP have a livestock operation out by Regina, Saskatchewan. And they also do some metal fabrication in their shop. Build a lot of their own livestock equipment. I think if you got any interest in metal fabrication or the livestock business in general, that's a channel to like and subscribe. That's for sure. I know I talked to him on the phone there for a couple hours. He expressed an interest in some of these cameras here and wondering what we were doing and why we were doing it. And yeah, we chatted for 2 hours. He's a pretty good fella there. He's got a lot of ideas that's rolling around in that brain of his. And if you're wanting some comedy in there too, sometimes him and CP get bantering back and forth and get you a good laugh too. So check out that channel, BCP Farm and Trucking. I know I'm subscribed, so at any rate, that's it for this channel for today. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next